So it's not that I don't like to read those kind of comments about, gross and what he's saying about, odds for taper and whatever. But you don't have time, at least I don't, you don't have time to analyze in split seconds, how the market is going to react. All you know is that we had an expectation that 82 zone was going to be support. We had an expectation that the boys were going to try to jam it, if not yesterday into the close, then overnight. And when you wake up and it's here already, that already gives you some idea about their leverage points and where they're going to try to flip. So we already know that this is a powerful zone. We said, 2 days ago that the market wants to test down here, this 82, but it also wants to test the 1802s. Right? You go back and look at the notes. We said that was a given also. So yesterday's conundrum was, well, what do we do? So, you got to trade what you see all day long. It's coming back down, into testing that 82 we wanted, but couldn't break it. It was a soft sell. When you wake up overnight and it's already, got its 10 points, theoretically that's low to high. So you're buying a pullback is the idea. First, you're selling a new high above it. So if you get into that, we said don't hang on to it. Be lucky to get down into that 88 zone, 87.5. The perfect buy point, really, that 86.75 area. And you're going to be using the gap, 84 area as your stop zone. 85. And hope to get back up and do a double top test. When that thing comes flying right back through it, you already know you're hanging on. At that point, sophisticated traders adding in, because you already know where your target is. You're going to go and get that gap, 0.25, and hope to get the 1802 to 1804. The professional is not going to buy 1802 and say, okay, I want 2 more points. Why we get the chop here. And I said, if we get back here, first things first, got to get back to our magnet area. If we get that, good fortune. Here, man, done. Could not ask for a better entry. If you want the long side with the trend, they could not ask for it. Even if it never takes out the high, it's still a high odds bounce, because who isn't going to take profits on a day like today? Said today is not a short and hold day. Most traders would be, very happy getting backwards, 5, 6, 7 points. You get that, congrats. And truthfully, that's a very valid way to trade. Why? Because a lot of traders were just, like deer in headlights and didn't understand what was going on with the trade idea. So they missed. A lot of traders will have missed this, and now they'll be, their mind is still, I want to short, I want to short, I want to short. That's why those type traders aren't looking for pullbacks. They just had, so all day long, their mind will be focused on short. And eventually they may be right. And that's the way a contra trader has to play. Because you don't want to buy the O2s. But if you already had your day made because you understood the dynamics of what we thought would be a play, then all you're doing is looking for icing on the cake now. And you don't care whether you're playing long or short. Because the travel range of this bar, already tells us what we need to know. You cannot be aggressive in either direction. So it's my belief that too many traders, don't focus on taking, small trades in a day like today. And really, after this, humongous up move here, we can't conclude that it's bearish. You may have better odds to short and try to get a couple of points backwards from here, but first time comes back into a zone like this 96, you're going to want to try to get into the rhythm of the day. I said I'd be very surprised if we got back beyond this. I'm still going to be surprised if we get beyond this, and it's not going to happen in one shot. That I know. It's not going to plunge on a day like today. The fix is in. So if by some miracle we got back down here in one shot, I would say I'm wrong, totally wrong. But this is the aggressive buy up here at that 96 zone. And then obviously now you manage a position if you bought here. But this trade is just as valid as shorting that 2 to 4 zone. And now we've got some, like I said, probably stolen range where neither side is going to get a lot of satisfaction. So if we roll over, it's going to take time on a day like today. And my feeling was we got back to this 96, magnet zone did well. So I'm going to advise caution on your trading now. If you played early and got a piece of that move, either direction, if you shorted that 97 area first and you took profits and went sidelines, great. And if you bought that 86, 87 zone, God bless you. Took profits, fine, even if you didn't think it was going to come out the top. Like we said, it was probably going to come up and hit 02, 03. Now is when you become conservative and you understand the nature of the beast. That there are S-curves that happen where rocket ship, and then you'll get some sideways, chump change trading. I've got the demon up here at 1800.75, 1801. That's why I said anybody that if you've taken that long, look for this target up here. And I wouldn't overtrade right now. Well, a lot of time left in the day. But all of our metrics, we were right yesterday when we said be very careful about that 82, 85 zone. And anybody that has a memory and you come in and you see that and it holds on a pullback, that was to the tick on those other charts we showed you. And this is how the market has advanced. Light volume, gap and squeeze, gap and trap. All of a sudden, here's a Hail Mary. So the worst today will be if we roll over and come back down in here, because that will leave everybody perplexed. But I still think there's a good chance that we take out the high. And I'm not willing to bet a lot on that, because I've had a good day already. So I'm in my conservative mode already.